What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to episode 35 of the Daily Dose podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Jackpack LLC and 1GM Construction. Tap in with them for all your roofing and construction needs in Albuquerque and surrounding areas. Let them know you heard it on the Daily Dose podcast for 10% off all services. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, guys. It really helps the channel. We got a lot of current topics to go over. Been a wild week. We got some fights from this past weekend. Little fight card to go over coming up this weekend. Let's get right into it. UFC 321, guys. I mean, not the worst card, not the greatest, right? It had 9 out of 12 of the fights were decisions. So some of them were, bangers, of course, but sometimes that can get a little boring. Hondi had a great performance over Chris Barnett. Nathaniel Wood had a great performance. Volta Walker gets the first, submission heel hook. The first finish on that card. He's had a lot of submission heel hooks. That's just his thing. Ludwig Klein had a great fight. And then right before the prelims end, Qualin Sakid just had a beautiful TKO head kick over Nazarat. Bounces off the canvas. Brutal knockout. Those are always tough. He pretty much got knocked out twice. So hopefully he's okay. Those are hard to watch, but it's a part of the sport. Opening up the main card, Alexander Rakic trying to bounce back, trying to get on track, and he just gets TKO'd. Tough loss for him. Not sure where that puts him. Alexander Volkov gets the win over Jairton Almeida. Now, guys, he had a lot of control time, but he was just laying there. Right? The UFC's done with that. You're not going to win a fight just laying on someone. If you have, 14 minutes of a fight, control time, and you didn't get a submission, ground and pound, then you're just laying there, bud. It's I get it. You can hold people down. That's awesome. But the UFC doesn't care. If you're not trying to do damage, if you're not trying to get people out of there, if you're just literally trying to control and lay there, you're not going to get the win. Great to see, because that shit's boring, guys. We're here to see people fight. Umar Nurmagomedov has a great fight, for example, with Mario Bautista, back and forth. I think it was the second or third round. Mario Bautista caught him with a knee. It was pretty brutal. I thought he was going to get him out of there. He took it, ended up getting the win, so that was a great fight. Now, Mackenzie Dern gets the win as well. Looked good. She has really improved on the feet since being in the UFC. Originally, a lot of these girls wanted to keep it on the feet with her because they didn't want to end up on the ground. Now it was like Verma would rather risk the submission. She had some good exchanges. She was grappling, but she was trying to get it down because on the feet, she was just getting tagged up. Mackenzie's got some good movement, some good feints, some good jabs. She's really been improving. So shout-outs to Jason Perillo. He's done a lot of work. He's got her. He had Michael Bisping, Cheeto, Luke Rockhold, BJ Penn. So he's really had a good camp. Shout-outs to him. And in the main event, Tom Aspinall comes out looking good, moving, hitting to the body, mixing it up, and then absolutely double just rips Tom Aspinall's eyes out. Guys, this was not a light little eye poke. If you rewatch it, it's like Buddy was knuckle deep in his eyes, okay? That is crazy. That is so painful, so hard to see after that. Very interesting. Dana basically at the post-fight presser was just like, in his opinion, he thought Tom just was overwhelmed, wasn't expecting that, didn't know what to do, so he didn't want to continue. Basically took the way out. Chael Sonnen said, Uncle Chael, the American gangster, he said, in that situation, you have to fight compromised. Anthony Smith agrees, said one of his fights, I think, in Japan. He recently fought compromised like that. Shit, Shara Bullet only has one eye. Bisping only has one eye. I get that if he got poked in one eye. He did get poked in both eyes. One of them very deep, one of them not as bad, but that was just a tough situation. Definitely, I don't think he was expecting that, right? And it's hard to not watch all the build-up and hear everybody just saying you're pretty much going to smoke this guy and not take him lightly to an extent. Now, interesting, right? Saragon got submitted very quick by Jon Jones. He's had some other fights where he looked decent, and then that was probably his best 4 minutes. He looked really good. He was looking sharp. He was looking confident. Dana, of course, says we got to run it back, so it'll be very interesting to see kind of how the rematch goes. But Overall, it was okay. Like I said, a lot of those fights are catered to that side of the world, and a lot of decisions, maybe the UFC jitters, but it wasn't the craziest. So then we have a fight night. We got Steve Garcia versus David Onama. This is one of those fight nights, not going to blow your hair back. Steve has a great story. He had lost or won on the Contender Series, but didn't originally get in the UFC because he missed weight. Takes a fight on short notice, loses, but gets in the UFC, wins one, loses one, and then he's been on like a 7-fight tear. He's beat a lot of good names. Looking really good of lately. Let's check it out. He's beaten Chase Hooper, Shaylin something Acosta, Kyle Nelson, Calvin Cater, Choi Sung Woo. So he's had some good wins in there, and I'm sure he'll get another TKO win this weekend. You got Waldo Cortez Acosta. He's a good heavyweight. Themba Gorbino, that's that guy who The Rock gave a house to. I don't know who Philip Rowe made mad. He's the second fight of the night. He's way too talented and puts on great, exciting fights to end up the second fight of the night in between two women's strawweight fights. And this is at the Apex. He could damn near be the co-main. Like, what happened here? I don't get it. Who knows, right? Because he did have 2 losses, but then he avenged it with a beautiful win, TKO in his last fight. So I don't know who he made mad. But overall, I mean, decent fight. Nothing that's going to blow your hair back. But as the year goes on, we have some really good cards to end it. So something that was interesting. Connor's, I don't know if he still trains at SBG, but James Gallagher, he had trained at SBG. He was in Bellator. He had a lot of hype. He was like a mini Connor. He's had some ups and downs. Well, he was supposed to fight, I think this past weekend in Abu Dhabi, something like that. And a couple hours before, he just left the arena. Didn't fight, just took off. He hasn't addressed it yet. He said he was going to come out on social media and address it. That's crazy, guys. You do that in the UFC, you will never, ever fight again. So hopefully he has a really good reason, because obviously in that promotion, he's not fighting again. But that'll make other promotions hesitant to sign him as well. So I saw this video that's circulating. I don't know how old or new it is. BJ Penn's in like a green shirt, and he gets absolutely KO'd. It's terrible. It was tough to see. He got knocked out, bounced his head off the street. Really sad to see, guys. I hope it was, even if it was old, someone like that just doesn't need to be taking shots to the head like that. It's really sad. He's had one of the toughest kind of fall off. The UFC, for whatever reason, doesn't want to rock with him, probably due to all the arrests and stuff like that. So hopefully something can turn around. Nothing's impossible. Prayers for BJ. One thing I did want to go over, I'm not going to give my fight predictions and stuff, but guys, they finalized the New York card, MSG November 15th, UFC 322. Let's start from the bottom. We got Angela Hill, Fatima Klein, Kyle Dawkins versus Gerald Mershart, Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Handon, Aaron Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez, Roman Kopelev versus Gregory Rodriguez, Benil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis, Leon Edwards versus Carlos Pratas, Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira, Sean Brady versus Michael Morales, Valentina Shevchenko defends her belt versus Weili Zhang, and Jack Della Maddalena defends his belt in Islam's first fight up at 170 pounds, Islam Makhachev. This is a great card, guys. On paper, could definitely be card of the year. Those MSG cards are always bangers. The UFC definitely stacks them up. I'm looking forward to it, so I just wanted to go over it. Now, okay, here we go. So now we're going to go to sports and scandals. Something crazy, guys. Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, a couple of these other guys. We have these gambling and betting scandals. Now, Chauncey Billups was allegedly hosting all these poker games, right, for the mafia, X-ray tables. Crazy, man. That is going to be really interesting to see how that unwinds. You got Terry Brazier and some other guys in these betting scandals. I watched this highlight video. Buddy would be on a breakaway, throw the ball behind him, miss passes, airball shots. Like, in the moment, I'm sure people thought he was having off nights. It is so obvious now. That boy is ACOM locked up. Good luck to him. Chauncey Billups, man, he was always a beast. That is just so crazy. But is it really, guys? If you're offered millions of dollars to do something like that, most people would. That's just the reality of it. Now, Jon Jones, after seeing how this eye poke turned out, He says, Alex Pereira, I would love to fight you. Let's put on a high-level fight at the White House card. I'm here for it, guys. You know, if Tom has to be out for whatever, couple months to let his eye heal and stuff like that, then do the rematch, probably not going to get the Jon Jones fight. If he could get back in there pretty quick, get the win, and move on, then he does. You know, based off how that looked, if he got beat by Ciryl Gane, that division's in shambles. Jon already made light work of Ciryl Gane, so that would be interesting to see how that all pans out. Now, this guy's got to stop. Derek the Dork Bunnyberg was on Ariel Helwani telling people sorry he trains more, sorry he trains harder, sorry he's better. Dog, get the hell out of here, bro. If this guy trained as much as he said, he would be jacked, guys. He wouldn't look like a snowman or the Michelin tire man. Like, stop it, buddy. You wouldn't have a big old belly and man tits if you train that much. And it's not only about that. It's disrespectful to the brown belts that have been training their ass off for 8 years, and they'd fold you up like a pancake, buddy. You cannot be a black belt and never competed. That does not work. Sorry. What you need to do is come out and say, sorry, guys, I'm super rich. I give all these fighters tons of money. We do a bunch of privates. In return, they gave me a black belt. You know, sorry. Not telling people you're better than them. You're out of your damn mind, buddy. If you're better than them, go get in there and roll. I'm tired of dorks like that. Now, the Louvre Museum heist. This one was crazy. Ocean's 11. These guys mapped it out. These guys used cranes and stuff. It was shout-outs to them. They did it a little amateur based off what I read and looked. It took a lot more time than it should have. So I'm not sure if there was some inside help as far as that. They take a bunch of priceless gems. I don't know if they're going to be melted down. I don't know if they're going to be in some Pablo Escobar type guy's living room. Pretty crazy. We'll see what happens if they end up finding them. But they definitely had that dialed in. Al Sharpton comes out. He's been a government informant, helped take down mob bosses, drug dealers, all sorts of high-level criminals. This guy was pretending to be a part of the culture, and he infiltrated the layer. That's crazy. He had people thinking he was not nearly who he actually was. He was feeding information to the feds. Absolutely crazy, guys. Now, this pastor is going viral. He had a Bentley or like a Rolls Royce parked in the church. He said, this is for us. Someone asked if they could drive it. He said, absolutely not. These guys are tripping. I think it was Warren Sapp's brother told his church, lock the doors until we get people to donate 40 grand. I saw this other church telling people to donate $1,000 a pop. This lady was donating like $1,400 for her and her son, and he just was embarrassing her. It's not enough. Didn't even want to take it. I would have smacked the Holy Spirit out of buddy. I don't know what these guys are thinking. If I'm at church and you guys try and lock the door, demand a certain amount of money, you're going to need to see God, buddy. That is way too far. That's not what church is supposed to be out. That is not what church is supposed to be out, and some of y'all are straight tripping. So it was super funny. This guy decided, I'm going to dress up as a Nazi. It was out in Georgia. He was going bar hopping. He was getting flack everywhere. He was getting smacked. He was getting pushed to his limits. He ends up assaulting somebody and gets arrested. Guys, perfect example. You can do what you want. You can wear what you want. But if people are pissed and they poke you and they get at you and you do that, you go to jail. There's consequences. It is what it is. You can act like an idiot, but that buddy's level of messing around met his level of finding out. So that's just how it is. Now, some culture entertainment. Rapper 4 Extra. As we all knew, 4th of July, Buddy blew his hand off. He just got this attachment. It's like 2 fingers and part of his hand and stuff. It looks like his hand. He got some attachment. He's back in action. Hopefully he doesn't blow this one off. Ray J was at this music fest, guys. I don't know if he just likes being a gesture, if he likes being the butt of people's jokes. This guy was wearing no shirt, looking like a stud. Had some big old baggy parachute trash-looking pants. Was wearing a hat with some damn ears on it. Singing One Wish terribly, just dancing like he's at a powwow. Buddy's out of his mind. It's really sad to see. Like, people are either concerned or laughing at you. There's not one person that was watching that actually jamming out with him. So, I don't know what's wrong with Buddy, but it's sad to see, guys. Like, if you are trying to make money or get views by being the butt of people's jokes, there's something wrong with you. Phantom, he's this streamer, a part of that AMP team, I believe, with Kai and all them. He does this blind burger challenge. He goes 9 for 9. He names some burgers without even taking them out of the package. He just feels the package. Some of them it's the buns. This dude is just a burger expert. It was just funny completely blind, and he guessed all the burgers right. Now, there was a versus battle this past weekend in Las Vegas. No Limit versus Cash Money. Master P versus Birdman. Wow, guys, it was pretty cool to see how many people showed up for Master P. Now, Master P is known for putting a lot of people on. Bought Snoop Dogg out of a contract back in the day. Helped Snoop out. The thing about him is whenever somebody was about to surpass him, Snoop Dogg, whoever it would be that came through his label, he was the first one to give them their papers and send them on their way. He helped people when they need it. He helps people start brands. He gives out free game. He's one of the most legit, solid people, entrepreneurs, and it showed, right? No Limit came out deep. Snoop, all these people showed up, matching gear. That was dope to see. Birdman was a disaster, talking shit on everybody. His best members didn't show up. He's always been a mess. He's always nodding out, falling asleep on drugs. He doesn't take care of people. That's why he leave his label. And it all correlates, you know. So it was just cool to see. Either way, I mean, they had some bangers even with all the disaster, but it was just cool how many people showed up for No Limit. That was a great episode today, guys. Not too much. The world's been a little slower. We're getting towards the end of the year, but we're gonna keep pumping content out, guys. I'm dropping videos every Monday, shorts every day. Doesn't matter what time of year. So I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Some good current topics, though. Pretty crazy week. I'm curious to see how this NBA scandal turns out, who gets arrested, how high up it goes. It'll be pretty crazy. Before we get out of here, we're going to leave on the message of the week, as always. Knowledge is power, guys. Read the books, listen to the books, the podcasts, do the research. There's infinite things out there. As I said, find the right stuff. There's a lot of people that are full of it, that haven't accomplished, that are giving what-if theories. But there is a lot of accomplished entrepreneurs, authors, whoever it is, with great material you can read and invest in. Knowledge is power. You go into rooms and you may not be financially the same as everybody, but if you can engage in those conversations and know what you're talking about, it'll take you far, guys. So the more knowledge, the better. Try and get yourself as far as you can. I appreciate everybody. I really do. I love all the support, all the subscribers, likes, shares, everything like that. Keep running it up, guys. Episode 35 of the Daily Dose Podcast. I'll see you guys next week.